The story of Peter, the fisherman who walked with Jesus. Once upon a time, in a small town by the Sea of Galilee, there lived a fisherman named Simon, whom Jesus later named Peter, which means rock. Peter was strong and bold, with rough hands from casting nets and pulling in fish every day. He worked with his brother Andrew, and their lives were simple, until one day, everything changed. The call of Peter. One morning, after a long night of fishing without catching a single fish, Peter was washing his nets when a man came along, Jesus of Nazareth. Jesus stepped into Peter's boat and taught the people from the water. When he finished, he told Peter, "Put out into deep water and let down the nets for a catch." Peter was tired. He had worked all night, but something about Jesus made him listen, so he obeyed. To Peter's surprise, the nets filled with so many fish that they began to break. Overwhelmed, Peter fell to his knees and said, "Go away from me, lo." But Jesus looked at him with love and said, "Don't be afraid. From now on you will fish for people." That day Peter left everything, his boat, his nets, his fish, and followed Jesus. Peter the disciple. Peter became one of Jesus' closest friends. He saw miracles, the blind seeing, the dead rising, the sea calmed by a word. One night, the disciples were on a boat during a storm. They saw Jesus walking on the water. Peter shouted, "Lord, if it is you, tell me to come to you on the water." Jesus said, "Come." Peter stepped out of the boat and walked on water. But when he saw the waves, he became afraid and began to sink. "Lord, save me," he cried. Immediately, Jesus caught him and said, "You of little faith, why did you doubt?" Peter learned that faith means trusting, even when you're afraid. Peter's boldness and failure. Peter was always the bold one. He said things before others did. When Jesus asked, "Who do you say I am?" Peter declared, "You are the Christ, the Son of the living God." But Peter also made mistakes. On the night Jesus was arrested, Peter promised, "Even if everyone else leaves you, I never will." Yet before sunrise, Peter denied Jesus 3 times, just as Jesus had predicted. When he realized what he had done, Peter wept bitterly, forgiven and restored. After Jesus rose from the dead, he met Peter on the shore, at the same sea where they first met. Jesus asked him 3 times, "Peter, do you love me?" Each time Peter answered, "Yes, Lord, you know I love you." Jesus said, "Feed my sheep." Jesus was not angry. He was restoring Peter, giving him a second chance. Peter the leader. After Jesus ascended into heaven, Peter became a powerful leader. He preached boldly on the day of Pentecost, and 3,000 people were saved. Peter healed the sick, raised the dead, and stood strong in the face of persecution. He was once a simple fisherman, but now he was the rock on which the early church began to grow. The legacy of Peter. Peter's story is a story of faith, failure, forgiveness, and purpose. He wasn't perfect. He made mistakes. But Jesus saw something in him. He turned a fisherman into a fisher of men.